Programming is full of strange letters like API, OOP, and JSON. But what do they really mean? In this video, we'll uncover 50 key acronyms in programming and software development. Whether you're just starting out or already coding, these terms will help you understand the language of developers and make learning much easier. API, Application Programming Interface. A set of rules and tools that allow two software applications to communicate with each other. Example: Google Maps. API lets other apps use map features without rebuilding them. IDE, Integrated Development Environment. A complete software suite where developers write, test, and debug code. It usually includes a code editor, compiler, debugger, and automation tools. Examples: Visual Studio, PyCharm, Eclipse. OOP, Object-Oriented Programming. A programming style based on objects that combine data, attributes, and functions, methods. It makes code easier to reuse and maintain. Examples: Java, C++, Python, partially. SDK, Software Development Kit. A package of libraries, documentation, and tools that help developers build applications for a specific platform. Example: Android SDK is used to make Android apps. GUI, Graphical User Interface. A way for users to interact with software visually using buttons, windows, and icons, instead of typing commands. Example: Windows Desktop or mobile apps. CLI, Command Line Interface. A text-based interface where users type commands to control software or operating systems. Example: Windows Command Prompt or Linux Terminal. UML, Unified Modeling Language. A standardized diagramming language used to plan and design software systems before coding. Example: flowcharts, class diagrams, and sequence diagrams. JSON, JavaScript Object Notation. A lightweight and human-readable data format commonly used for exchanging data between a server and a web application. Example: API responses are often in JavaScript Object Notation. XML, Extensible Markup Language. A markup language for structuring and storing data in a readable way for both humans and machines, used in web services, configuration files, and document storage. HTML, Hypertext. Markup language. The core language of web pages, defining the structure of text, images, and links that appear in a browser. CSS, Cascading Style Sheets. A styling language that controls how HTML elements look. Fonts, colors, layouts, and responsiveness. JS, JavaScript. A programming language mainly used in web development to make websites interactive. Sliders, pop-ups, animations. PHP, Hypertext Preprocessor. A popular server-side scripting language used to create dynamic web pages and applications. Example: WordPress runs on PHP. SQL, Structured Query Language. The standard language for creating, managing, and retrieving data from databases. Example: Select star from users. Retrieves all users. DBMS, Database Management System. Software that allows users to store, organize, and manage large amounts of data efficiently. Examples: MySQL, Oracle, MongoDB, JVM Java Virtual Machine. A virtual machine that executes Java bytecode, making Java write once, run anywhere. It allows Java programs to work across different operating systems. JRE, Java Runtime Environment. A set of libraries and tools required to run Java applications, but not to develop them. JDK, Java Development Kit. A full package that includes the JRE and additional tools, compiler, debugger, for developing Java software. API Key, Application Programming Interface Key. A unique code used to authenticate and control access when connecting to APIs. It prevents unauthorized usage. CI/CD, Continuous Integration / Continuous Deployment. A development practice where code changes are automatically tested, integrated, and deployed. It reduces bugs and speeds up software delivery. REST, Representational State Transfer. A web API design style that uses standard HTTP methods, GET, POST, PUT, DELETE, for communication. It's simple, scalable, and widely used. SOAP, Simple Object Access Protocol. An older but structured protocol for exchanging data in web services. It's more strict and secure than REST, but harder to implement. ORM, Object Relational Mapping. A programming technique that lets developers use objects to interact with databases instead of writing raw SQL queries. Example: Hibernate, Django ORM. MVC, Model View Controller. A software design pattern that separates the code into three parts: model data, view UI, and controller logic. It makes software easier to maintain and scale. TDD, Test-Driven Development. A development approach where tests are written first, then code is written to pass those tests. This improves code quality and reduces bugs. API Gateway, Application Programming Interface Gateway. A server that manages, secures, and controls requests between clients and back-end services in an API system. CRUD, Create, Read, Update, Delete. The four basic operations performed on databases or data storage systems. DRY, Don't Repeat Yourself. A programming principle that encourages writing reusable code instead of duplicating it. KISS, Keep It Simple, Stupid. A design principle suggesting software should be simple and not overly complicated. YAGNI, You Aren't Gonna Need It. A principle advising developers not to add unnecessary features until they are actually required. SOLID, Single Responsibility, Open-Closed, Liskov Substitution, Interface Segregation, Dependency Inversion. 5 principles of object-oriented programming that improve maintainability. FOSS, Free and Open Source Software. Software that anyone can use, modify, and distribute freely. EOL, End of Life. When software is no longer supported or updated by its developers. LTS, Long-Term Support. A version of software that receives updates and support for an extended period, often used in enterprise environments. REPL, Read eval print loop. An interactive programming environment where you type code and see the results immediately. Example: Python shell. AST, abstract syntax tree. A tree-like structure that represents the code's syntax used by compilers and interpreters. VM, virtual machine. A software-based computer system that emulates hardware, allowing multiple operating systems to run on one machine. VCS, version control system. A tool that tracks changes to source code and allows collaboration. Example: Git SVN. CI, continuous integration. The practice of frequently merging code changes into a shared repository and testing them automatically. CD, continuous delivery/deployment. Automating the release of applications to production after testing. BASH, Born Again Shell. A popular command line shell and scripting language used in Linux and Unix systems. TOML, Tom's Obvious Minimal Language. A configuration file format designed to be simple and easy to read. INI, Initialization File. A simple configuration file format used to set software parameters. DLL, Dynamic Link Library. EXE, Executable File. A file format in Windows that contains a program ready to be executed.